Hey everyone, it's me again. I wanted to take the video a step further and show kind of the copper and the scrap metal that I have and what the plan is, and we'll kind of take this step by step. But you can see that I have some different piles of scrap metal here, and you could see that this is all the copper pipe that you saw in my last video, the farmhouse copper pipe. So if you haven't watched that, it's just a short video showing where I got it from. So I prepared this pipe by just cutting off all the brass ends and all there's some garbage on there as well. And so I cut that off and threw it away. But hopefully this all comes in what they call number 2 copper. And so what they'll do is they'll weigh this copper piping, and then they'll pay me, it sounded like between $3.30 a pound. So that's pretty good weight, hopefully, on that copper pipe. This pail is just the ends of the copper, and that actually went in at about 18 pounds when I weighed it on the scale. This is all the brass. So you can see these are valves and whatnot, ends and different things. I think it was an old fireplace frame. So this actually is a smaller pail, and that came in at 38 pounds, believe it or not. So pretty good weight on the Briella brass. That was, I think, $2 a pound. So not bad right there. And then here we have some aluminum copper radiators. This was paying $1.70 a pound. So I'm not even sure what I have there for weight. I don't even know. If I had to guess, I could have $300 to $500 in stuff that you see, and maybe this is 60 pounds and maybe this is 60 pounds, or it's hard for me to even say. I'll be taking this in the next couple days, and I'll be able to show you guys kind of how it turns out. But to clean the copper, yeah, I simply looked for anything that wasn't copper and cut it off. Now they do accept soldering and whatnot, at least at my scrapyard, and then that's considered number 2. If you wanted a grade above, you need a cleaner, and so it's not worth it for me to do it. Yeah, I could also cut this, the fins, those little aluminum fins, I could cut those all off, but I don't have the time or the resources to do that at this time, so I'm just going to turn them in as is. So then it goes, if I would cut all the fins off, it would go from like $1.60 value per pound at $3.30 a pound, because there's copper underneath. So I try to cut all that copper off as best as possible, and that's what's in that green bucket over there. So I'm kind of excited to take this in and see what I've got. Over here you have just some miscellaneous stainless, aluminum, some more radiators. So that's a whole nother couple different classes of metal there as well. And so I have to take that in later, but first, we had a whole pile of steel, and so you saw pictures of our truck, and here it is again. So you could see it's plump full, ready, all strapped in. Got a bunch of different things, including the big heavy old school snowblower. I got even everything, including the kitchen sink right there, the cast iron sink. So got this loaded full, and we'll drive it to a separate scrapyard from the copper and the aluminum yard. So they're gonna take this in. They have me drive onto the scale, weigh me, which will probably come in at maybe 11,000, 12,000 pounds. It's been a little bit since I scrapped anything. I don't do it too often. And then they clear it. I drive to the yard, into the yard, then off the scale. They'll clear it, and then they'll weigh me empty. So that's how that works. And then I probably weigh in maybe at 9,000 pounds empty or 8,000 pounds empty. So hopefully I'm estimating I have about 2,000 pounds, give or take a little bit, on the trailer. They're actually paying $105 a ton, and so every 2,000 pounds you get $105. So I'm hoping this is everything in the trailer in the truck box is hopefully about $100 or so. So that would pay for my gas and give me a little bit extra. So then once that's cleared, I'll come back and I'm going to load this up onto the trailer, and I'm going to load this up onto the trailer, and then we go to a different scrapyard that takes this and pays for it, and then we'll go and do the same thing. They'll have this all loaded up onto a scale. They'll pull off one thing at a time. So they'll pull the aluminum radiators off, reweigh the scale. The difference is how much the aluminum radiators are. Then they'll pull all this copper pipe off, and then that's how much the difference between what you started and what you finished, which that's the difference. And then they'll do that down to zero, and then they'll cut you a check at the end of the day, at the end of it all, and you'll go to the office and go get that check. So that's all there is to it. So we'll see how it all turns out, and like I said, it was a lot of work getting this all out of the house, if you want to watch my last video, but hopefully it's worth it, and it should be a fun adventure to get this turned into cash. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Take care now. All right, boys, we got everything unstrapped here. Now we got to go to the scale and weigh in. So we're gonna drive up to the scale and get ourselves weighed in, see what we're at here. Maybe 9 to 11,000, probably 11,000. Probably 11,000 with everything on, but it'll be interesting to see. You know, so we'll just pull up to the scale. It'll be on my right side. The amount of weight. A little electronic meter. Driving a little slower, don't want anything to fall off. Shouldn't, but there we go, 12,780. So see you soon. They'll unload me and then we'll weigh in empty. See you later. All right, we got the trailer unloaded. You can see everything's off, and then we got to go drive up to the scale and weigh in to see how much we come in at. Maybe, I don't know, 9,500. I don't even know. See, the trailer's completely empty. Gotta drive onto the scale. Didn't take too long to unload, 20 minutes maybe. So we'll get this weighed in quick and then we'll be off on the way. They cut us a check for, right on the spot here, for what, how much we have, about 105 per ton, I guess. All right, let's go take a look. Somebody else in line there waiting. What's that? Well, friends, made it home okay. Here's the slip. They had 4,140 pounds. So on the trailer, I was way off. I thought it would be a little over 2,000, but it was way more than that. So you can see, you know, nice and clean trailer and truck. And so now the next job we have is to take all of this copper aluminum radiators and load it onto the trailer, and I'm going to take this copper pipe and load it in the back of the trailer, and that has to go to a second scrap yard later today. So I'll shoot a little bit of that too for you. I'm hoping I have close to $500 of stuff here. I again could be way off, could be 600, could be 300. I really don't know. It's hard for me to gauge how much it's actually going to be. But they do the same type of thing. They'll load it all up, probably into a tote, and each metal class they'll pull off, and they'll keep subtracting from the total. So if you have 50 pounds of aluminum copper radiators, they'll take off, you know, they'll pull it off. They'll be able to tell how much you have, and then they'll multiply it by the price, and then they'll do the same thing with all this copper pipe, pull that off, and then they keep subtracting from the total until you get down to 0. We've got a little bit of miscellaneous there too. So we'll be doing that in a little bit, a couple hours, and hopefully it's another good run for us, and I'll keep you posted. Thanks for watching. Thanks again, and take care. All right, friends, pulling into the next scrap yard at this time. You can see off to the right, there is a shed. That's where we're going with our precious metals. Off to the left here is where the cast iron and the scrap go, the heavier duty poundage for scrap, where they pay you per ton. I have to trade in my copper and my aluminum today, so we're gonna be headed over to this building here and see what they want us to do. They're gonna weigh it down, each classification, and pay us, and then I go to this shed for the check. So let's just check in and see what they want me to do here, and I can show you kind of where we ended up, how we ended up packing this up. But there's the shed for the check. Yeah, you can see it worked fine. So I'll be back in a little bit. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Well, hey everyone, we're back at home, and truck is completely empty. You can see we cleared it, and the trailer is no longer hooked up, so we were able to park the trailer. We got all of it hauled in. Garage is completely clean, you can see, so I got everything taken care of. Overall, very happy and excited with the results. You can see the results of the copper that I took in. You can see how they line item it out, and we had number 2 copper, which is what you saw. We had over 208 pounds, which is really crazy. I think anyway, that's the most I've ever had by 10 times. And total payment was $1,022. We also had those aluminum radiators were clean. They were clean, marked as clean, which is great. That was 115 pounds, and then that pail of brass was 39, so that was $91. You know, yes, I could have probably cut the radiators up, but I didn't have the time to do that, and didn't really want to do that. And then, you know, that would have been about $150 more. There's some miscellaneous as well. We had some rims, some household extension cord. You know, it looks like 95 cents a pound, so you know that's not a bad deal. $16. Then we had some high grade stainless steel at $10. So lots of scrap metal and dollars there. So 1,022, and then like you saw previously, we had over 4,000 pounds on the tonnage for the scrap steel with the appliances and whatnot. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the results. I would say I had probably 8 to 10 hours getting the stuff out of the house, probably an hour, 2 hours moving things around, preparing things. So you're probably looking at 12, 13 hours, and then probably another 2 hours driving it around and loading. So probably 14, 15 hours of stuff, and in all it was close to, it was over $1,200, $1,000 with the copper, and then $200. So it was about $1,200 for that work, and then gas was probably $50, $60 in gas, and then I paid a little bit for individuals, so about $100 expenses. So not a bad deal. It normally doesn't work out this way, but did this time, which is why I filmed it, and it was kind of a fun undertaking and a good way to make some extra money. So thanks for watching as always, and hopefully you liked the video. Appreciate you. Take care of yourselves. Good luck everyone. Bye now.